Alright, what it is, people, it's your boy Yu-Gi-Oh! We are back with another commentary video. We got a DB video gameplay for one of my live streams that I was doing. We finna go over the gameplay of one of these matches. It was a crazy match against Regenesis against Maliss. It was pretty good, but I want to go over the gameplay with you all so I can get some feedback and to see what I could have done better. And it was a crazy match, but I want to see at some points where I could have did some things better and get some feedback to, make better gameplay. But let's get into it. So we're going to start with this gameplay. So I was against Maliss. My opponent went first. Let them go first. So, of course, start with Dormouse. I have no plays, so I'm just letting them play. Go ahead, do their combo. Splash mage, blah, blah, blah. So this is game one. Just let them go through the whole shebang. So they go through the wicket line. But I have to say, I've been, playing with the Regenesis on live stream a lot, and I'm starting to like that deck a lot. Maybe not a lot to like take it to a big tournament, but enough to pick up the deck and have it for the future. Ready for some gameplay in the future. You never know. More support, it might go super crazy. So they make Firewall. Add Ignis to search Marchair. Discard Terraforming. All right, go into Cryptor. Wizard. All right. Ally code. Alright, so their inboard is Allied. Let me pause it. Allied with Red Ransom, White Binder, Imperm, and GWC Ash, Baldrake. They just basically got everything. So we're gonna start here. My play. I start off with Field Spell, thinking if I could get them to Omni Negate. But they don't bite on it, so it is what it is. We get another Unicorn. Start off the play with Unicorn. Search the Imperm, of course. Imperm is basically good against Unicorn. We already know that with the past cash formats. But I wanted to bait out a Talents, but of course with the back row, they have an Imperm. They're gonna use the Imperm. I was hoping that they either Ash Blossom or something like that. So the Imperm is good. And we reveal to summon out the Archfiend. Archfiend activate the Ash Blossom. So right here, the Ash Blossom Talents is live. We have the Regenesis Dragon. But let's see what the next play is if they. Alright. So I Talents right here. I'm thinking maybe I should have summoned out maybe the Regenesis Dragon. If I summon out the Dragon, I could use the Dragon to tribute and get rid of the back row. If I get rid of the back row, 9 times out of 10 they'll probably negate it, or they might bounce my monsters, and then I could Talents, use it to negate, but then I would have already used my specials. But then I could summon out Unicorn. I mean not Unicorn, Fenrir, to basically do what I did last game. I mean not last game, a game in the future. I'll show you that play in a second, but I think maybe I should have just specialed out Genesis Dragon, had the big bodies, and then maybe try to force battle phase and then force the Firewall and keep the Talents in hand. Maybe that probably was the better play. Of course their ally code talking negate, which sets up the GWC in the graveyard, and they also had a Bestial Baldrake, so they were loaded. It is what it is. Yeah, they had crazy plays. But we probably should have just summoned out the Dragon to force the back row. They do the crazy plays, typical Maliss stuff. I can't hate them for it. But now what I'm saying, even if, well, yeah, if I would have summoned the 3 bodies, I could have forced the GWC. And they probably would have had all this set up anyway, but I still probably would have had Talents in hand. They probably would have bounced the Firewall, or never know. Or they probably would have allied negate the Regenesis Dragon, and then the Talents would have been live. So think that probably would have been the move. Y'all give me some feedback in the comments after y'all check out this video. Alright. Non-target banish. Banishes the Archfiend. Battle. Non-target banish the dragon. I mean, he did those plays right, getting rid of the Regenesis stuff. Unicorn is boosted, so it gets over the red ransom. Typhon. Can't use Typhon, so I just scoop. It is what it is. So next game, let's check hands, see what we have. So to start off, they have the Chesty Cat, Ball Drake, Drill Swarm, March Hare, Thrust. I have the Cold, Lava Golem, and Perm. Archfiend, not a crazy hand, but I mean, I make it work. Let's see. Play. So I reveal the Lava Golem with the 2500 defense. Activate the Search, Regenesis. Activate Regenesis. I get a Regenesis Warrior. Warrior tributes, then targets one opponent and return it to the hand. Okay. Okay. I use Regenesis Code to summon out Sage. So now I'm locked out of the extra deck. I can't use the extra deck, but I still have 2 Regenesis effects with an Imperm, and then on the follow-up have a Lava Golem, so it's pretty good. But a Cash Monster would have been good with this Kashtira Birth. I was talking to Charlie. Charlie was in the live stream as well. We were talking about Kashtira Birth. Shout out to Charlie. Kashtira Birth is really good going first, but you need Cash Monsters to play with it. But it is what it is. It came up in this match. Shout out to Charlie. Charlie is the GOAT. So right here I used the Warrior to bounce the Chesty Cat. I shotgunned that too fast. I probably should have just waited. Let them either use the Chesty Cat effect to draw 2 and then imperm, or I should have impermed that, and then when they sent it to grave, they have like crazy bestial, so as far as them banishing the Chesty Cat again, it would have resolved. So I probably should just waited like later in the plays to see, you know, what to stop. And then they thrust for a Duster. That right there was a misplay, so I should have waited longer. Let them commit more and maybe imperm, and then when they thrust, you know, thrust into whatever, I either negate it or the talents or whatever. But yeah, I should have waited a little bit more. I shotgunned that too early. So Duster to keep the imperm. Talents. They're gonna look at my hand. Of course, I have nothing in hand except for the Lava Golem, which is a good, you know, hit, but it is what it is. So gonna hit the Lava Golem. Now looking back now, that Lava Golem would have came up huge, but it is what it is. They had crazy hands. Like every game they have crazy hands, but it's DB, you know what it is, man. All right, so March Hare, summon back out. So luckily they still don't have a, you know, Maliss to get the draw 2. I would have had to use the Imperm, but it is what it is. So we'll see what the next play right here is. So they go into Linger Revo. Turns off the Imperm. Ball Drake. Another body. So they had 3 bodies right here. Get the March Hare back in hand for follow-up. Going to Red Ransom. And right here, the Imperm is clutch because let's check the grave. They have the Chesty Cat in the grave. They can summon out another the Ball Drake to go into another body. Maybe for access code. I don't know why they didn't go into access code, but we'll see. But this Imperm right here was super clutch. And then they Drill Swarm, sent my Sage. Alright, so Ball Drake banish, Drill Swarm. They enter battle phase. They probably could have just went into access code and had game. That was a misplay on them. Crazy misplay. That game would have been over, but we learn from them misplays and we just keep playing. So basically they keep comboing off GWC set, White Binder. Right there, where they had the White Binder on field, they never used the White Binder effect. They could have banished all my Regenesis cards, and the game would have definitely been over right there. So that's the second misplay. They didn't go into access code. They didn't banish my Regenesis cards from the graveyard, which is crazy, but it is what it is. We let them keep playing. We know we didn't scoop because we know we get the Regenesis cards back at the end phase. So, and then we have the other two Regenesis spell for follow up. They go into allied code summon back. So right here they had GWC reset again. No, what GWC set with White Binder, Allied Code, Red Ransom. Attacks and defense are switched. They have a Prairie in hand and they have a March here for, you know, more follow up. Then we get our Regenesis back right here. Now this is something I need to know for the Regenesis cards in the graveyard when they get sent. These I don't think they do, but they don't activate, right? They just come back to hand because I wasn't sure, so I used the effect to activate the effect to come back, but I don't think the effects activate. Leave in the comments if the effects activate, but I know I get them back. So he ally code Talker to negate, but I'm not sure you could like really negate it because when your opponent activates a card or effect, it doesn't activate. I don't think so. Let me know in the comments about that. So yeah, he banishes the warrior. The warrior would have been an extra body, but we still had a Regenesis code in the graveyard to get the warrior back. So we banished the code to get the warrior back. The warrior summons back. And then they just scoop, say, should have read your cards. Yeah, man. It is what it is. But if I would have had that lava golem, it still would have been even way better. Alright, let's see what the hand's looking like. They got Called by, Maliss, Underground, Impulse, Backup, and Thrust. We have Warrior, Fenrir, Sage, Regenesis Code, and then Lightning Storm. So this is the only going second card we have, and then they have like somewhat full combo. So we'll see. Let's go. Let's see what they got. So they summon field spell, Dormouse. Dormouse effect, you know, the typical Maliss stuff. White Rabbit set GWC. Like if we had like an Imperm, if we had 2 Imperms or something like that, it would have been pretty good. Or Nip. Nip would have been really good. But then they had Thrust, so. But yeah, this is all from my live stream. Just going back over the gameplay, see what I could have did better. Y'all hit me up in the comments. Let me know what I could have did better. Just trying to, you know, get cleaner with the plays. But y'all say y'all wanted commentary gameplay. Well, I'm giving it to y'all. So it's your boy I Grind Yu-Gi-Oh. All right, they go to Wicked. They draw 2. They draw a March Hare and an Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is crazy. But they had Call By and Thrust. Not gonna lie, all 3 games they opened up broken, which is crazy. Like, they got everything that they need to go first and some. So backup summon, backup search. They search Wizard, discard backup, Wizard, summon White Rabbit, White Binder, set GWC, go into Cryptor, March Hare, White Binder, draw into MTP, which is crazy, go into Firewall, normal summon Ash Blossom, Allied Code summon. Alright, so the board is Allied, Red Ransom, Firewall, White Binder, MTP, GWC, but guess what? We gonna break this whole board, which is super crazy. I had the live stream going crazy. Y'all make sure y'all check into the live streams on Saturdays. Saturday mornings around 9-10 a.m. or 11 a.m. I should be online, but y'all check in. Make sure y'all hit that like button, but we're gonna break this whole board. Alright, so I draw into the Theosis. So I was thinking with the Lightning Storm if I should have hit the monsters, because I wanted to get the negate, hit the monsters or the back row. They're not, of course they're not gonna let it go through for the monsters, but With the back row, most likely they'll probably let it, everything go through. Force the GWC somehow, the MTP, force, field spell, impulse, get all that out of there. So let's see. So we lighten the stone for spells. They activate MTP, they activate GWC, they force everything out. So now they have a non-target banish coming out, which is really, really somewhat good. And they add a Dormouse for follow-up. So they got Dormouse and March Chef for follow-up, and then they got Thrust in hand. Then we hit all the back rows. So we trade for 1 card for 4. So now they only have 5 cards on field with 4 in hand. Still a 9, but we're gonna play. They had everything going first. So I specialed out Fenrir right here. That was the move. I mean, we got to get another 2500 attack monster. So I say anything on summon, nothing on summon. Fenrir to search. If he, looking at my hand now, he probably should have banished the Fenrir. And if he would have banished the Fenrir, this game 9 times out of 10 would have been over. Well, no, because he had 2500 monsters I could summon for free. I have to remember that also. When my opponent has 2500 attack monsters, I could special summon out monsters for free. So that's a misplay on my part for not really noticing that, So I have the Fenrir, and I noticed that I can't special unicorn. I don't want the Theosis to get banished, so I'm like, all right, let me just put my opponent on not knowing, how to play Yu-Gi-Oh that good. So I forced battle phase to see if I could get the Crypto to activate, the ally code to negate, or the firewall to bounce back. Force one of those interruptions. Also, he didn't set the call by, which is crazy. But so I go into battle phase to force the interaction. I declare attack on the red ransom because it switches my attack and defense. But my attack and defense is 24, so I could beat over the red ransom, which will, put my attack and defense back to normal. So I go into battle phase, declare attack on the red ransom, use the effect, thinking on target, which I want to banish face down. Of course, you got to get the ally code out of there. My opponent says, think on deck. Okay, so the declaration has gone through. Unicorn effect is good. I target the ally code. On declaration. Cryptor. Okay, that's cool. Okay, effect on deck. On attack deck, I have a chance to respond. You do have a chance to respond. You responded. So you use the effect to banish my Fenrir, which is good. I say, yes, you do. Okay. So you shuffle back the Maliss in the mirror. Non-target Fenrir. And I'm like, okay. It gets banished before you activate. No, it is on attack declaration. So your ally code goes face down unless you negate it. Unless you responded with ally code. He should have responded with ally code to banish the Fenrir and then keep the non-target banished Cryptor. But it is what it is. He learned out. He learned this time around. Now the effect is on attack declaration. So we go through a whole little thing or whatever. Just fast forward. So now we get this resolved. Luckily I had a judge on my live stream. Shout out to Saint Marcus. He also plays Regenesis. Check out his YouTube channel. Saint MARKUZ Marcus. I think that's what it is. Make sure y'all check him out and subscribe. But yeah, so I special out Unicorn. And this is where Charlie the Goat comes up. We were side decking for the game 3, and me thinking, you go in second with Kashtira, Regenesis, or Kashtira in general. You either take a birth out, or you want to take not all the births out, but the one birth out, because like the other game before, I had Lava Golem and birth. If you just have Kashtira birth in your head with no Kashtira monsters, it's dead going second. So I was like, all right, it's gonna be dead going second. But look, the Fenrir is banished. I have the Unicorn. If they don't do anything right here, I mean, Unicorn search. I can search the Kashtira birth. So I used the effect of Kashtira Unicorn to search for birth, and I realized no target. I took the birth out. If I would have had the birth, I could have activated Unicorn, had birth, bring back Fenrir, and that would have been 2 bodies right there. And then I could have summoned my Regenesis monster, had 4 bodies on field, and then used Regenesis code or another Kashtira Theosis, and I could have just went crazy with the extra deck. But that was my misplay right there. So I should have kept in the Kashtira birth, which is crazy. It really came up. This Fenrir right here that's just sitting in the banish zone would have been clutch. Let's check the extra deck. Oh, I can't even look at my own extra deck right now. That's crazy. But yeah, I could have used the extra deck to go into something different. I probably could have made it red eyes for the follow-up. You know, they like to pay life points. You know, I had to get rid of some cards, but let's see what I do next. So the birth would have came up. Now the Regenesis Warrior, I summon the Warrior. He's reading my cards. Firewall. So him using the Firewall bounce on one monster is crazy. I can't. Quick effect, you contribute this card to target one monster your opponent control, return it to the hand. Okay, I see why he used the ASAP. I thought it was the... I thought it flipped it face down, but yeah, so he bounced it back. And he bounced Ash Blossom back. So looking at this hand now, I probably should have Theosis first or Regenesis Code first. Yeah, so I should have... Kashtira Birth was my one misplay. And not activating the Theosis or the Kashtira, Kashtira Theosis or the Regenesis. Seeing that he has an Ash Blossom engraved to bounce back, I should have activated that. So I gotta look out for that next time. It was many ways to win this game. Now I activate Unicorn. But the funny thing is, he showed me his extra deck, and it only showed me 2 cards. It showed me Almirage and then showed me Bomber, but later when I looked again, it had 7 cards. I don't know why I did that, but it is what it is. I Specialized Sage. I Theosis. Hold on. Oh, he asked to read Warrior. Can I read the when I bounce? Okay, that's why Warrior was on the field. He wanted to read it. I was about to say, I can't summon Warrior off Theosis. So I get another Fenrir. If I would have had Birth, I would have had 1, 2, 3. I would have had 4 monsters on field, which is crazy. I think I already searched with Fenrir. Charlie lets me know that, and then I put the Fenrir back. Alright, so I was trying to make Dark Arm. So Dark Arm pop the Cryptor. Theosis to add Fenrir back since I didn't have Kashtira Bird. Pop the Red Ransom again. But I have he has March Hair and Cryptor, so he could use the March Hair again. Somehow we had to get that March Hair out of hand. So Sage on March Hair would be really, really good. But he has Thrust still, so Firewall summon, Dormouse, Typhon bounce White Binder. Then we set the Regenesis Code to summon out another one. So yeah, we could have went crazy with the extra deck if I would have had Kashtira Birth, but it is what it is, man. That's why I'm showing y'all the commentary, the replays, so we could, you know, get better out of gameplay and get ready for national season. But so the only thing I have is Typhon in defense, Regenesis Sage, Regenesis Code, and let's go to the next turn. So they draw Imperm, Firewall, Dormouse, Sage. So we got to set up the code negate, of course. So in draw phase, I activate Regenesis Code. Let's see. The Warrior, Regenesis Warrior was in the graveyard. Okay. So Archfiend effect in the draw phase. Get Regenesis. So he activates Thrust. Of course, you get talents. Then try to drop the talents, but then realize it's not in the main phase. I never activated a monster effect in the main phase, so it goes back to hand. Let's see. Judge finally comes, looks at everything. So Dormouse effect. So not knowing that he had March Hair, if he didn't have that March Hair and I Sage negate, all he has is Firewall with talents, and we somewhat probably come back and win. So he looks at the hand instead of drawing 2. But I mean, he has March Hair, so he doesn't need to really draw 2. But yeah, I mean, if he doesn't have the talents or the March Hair and I negate this, like, the game is probably over. It's probably over, yeah. So I'm learning from my misplays and learning what I could have did. But he still would have had imperm and call by, but he never set the call by, which is crazy. And then now he just goes full combo. Full combo access code. No effect to gain with access code. Access code pop. Summon out. Access code pop. Then battle phase. Attacks. But guess what? It's game. So yeah. So yeah, that is it for the Regenesis versus Maliss matchup. I lost this game, but I'm just showing y'all the replay. See what I could have did better. You know, better gameplay. Leave comments in the comment section. Let me know what I could have did, what I could have added in the deck to, you know, have a different outcome. But basically, y'all wanted commentary videos. I'm giving y'all commentary videos. It's your boy I Grind Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, comment, subscribe, share the videos. We out.